It's nearly impossible to experience a bad vacay in France with its mesmerizing culture, fantastic foods, wines, and diverse landscapes. But on the other hand, these 6 pointers will surely help you to enhance the most of your visit to France. Today's video will show you the best ways to see France and make the most of your time there. Before we begin, subscribe to our channel to never miss out on more videos like this. The first rule is to always book ahead of time for major attractions. Many prominent indoor sites in France now require tourists to book tickets online as well as select a specific time slot. The days of arriving at scenic places like the Eiffel Tower or Louvre and seeing inside after purchasing a ticket are long gone. Despite this, many visitors appear to be unaware of the change. For example, throughout a trip to Paris in late 2021, tourists noticed many disgruntled foreign tourists standing outside the museums attempting to purchase admission tickets with their phones. People can also imagine how irritated they were after realizing the next available entry time slot might be several hours away. Preparation is required to avoid such inconvenience. First, decide the attractions you desire to visit, on which days and when leading up to your trip to France. Then go online and reserve these time-sensitive tickets. France serves as a portal to the Islamic world. Many visitors arrive in this European country with bucket lists full of museums, cathedrals, and French restaurants and wine. Make room, if possible, for another culture that has had a significant impact on France over the last century. France has more Muslims than any other country in the EU, which is reflected in many fascinating Islamic museums, stunning mosques, and unique Moroccan, Algerian, Tunisian culture. Paris is the center of the Muslim community in France. It is also home to the Grand Mosque of Paris, which is possibly Europe's most majestic Islamic structure. This large complex, built a century earlier by skilled and prominent Muslim artisans, is adorned with 108 feet or 33 meters minaret with mesmerizing tile mosaics, as well as a tranquil garden. Visitors can visit the place and tour guides are provided to them at no extra cost. Visitors captivated by this Islamic architecture must visit the Arab World Institute Museum in Paris too, which houses a vast collection of Islamic arts and artifacts. France is much larger than you may believe. Visitors from massive countries like the US, Australia, Canada, Russia, as well as China may mistakenly believe that European countries are small and easier to navigate. While many are, France is the largest. It's almost as big as Texas, stretching 600 miles from north to south and a significant distance from west to east. So unless you have a lot of time, don't try to cross France because you will spend half of it on cars, trains, and buses. Instead, focus on 1 and 2 regions and learn everything you can about them. Most visitors come and go from Paris, so if you only have a few days, combine a stay in the French capital with a visit to Normandy's war memorials and beaches, to the north or to the west of France, where cities like Lille exhibit a unique blend of French, Dutch, and Belgian influences. Even a smattering of French will earn you smiles and assistance. Perhaps the most persistent and inaccurate stereotypical image about French people is that they are hostile to foreigners who visit their country. After my first trip to France in my early 20s, this was my perception. There's a common mistake made by English-speaking visitors, particularly in Paris, where so many locals have gotten weary of this entitled behavior and react coldly to it. This is a minor concession, but it demonstrates effort and respect. Moreover, it consistently results in a smile or, at the very least, good service. You don't need to learn a long list of French turns of a phrase before visiting, but mastering this one will enhance your vacation and shows courtesy to your hosts. The best way to see France is to drive yourself. France has a contemporary rail and highway network that allows you to travel quickly between its large cities. However, being able to zoom in also takes you past one of the country's highlights, its endless scenic towns. People were so engrossed in the countryside excursion that we postponed our trip to the beach. Instead, we spent the entire day meandering through the back roads, past farms, vineyards, and small towns. I've yet to come across a boring or unappealing corner of rural France. So on your next trip there, think about leaving the cities, train lines, and highways at home for a day or two. These are the things you need to know before traveling to France. What do you think about these things? Let us know your views in the comments below.